Good evening, Scorpios, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are. Thank you for joining me for your reading. Scorpio season, my first ever video. It's only right that I start with the Scorpios. As always, remember that tarot is a tool, so be sure to take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Already tapping into your energy, the word change comes to mind. So let's see if the cards clarify that word that is just milling in my brain as I connect with all of you Scorpios who are watching. So let's see what the cards say. I am using the Uncommon Tarot deck by Shaheen Miro. And let's pull out some cards and see what happens. Okay, Scorpio. So I have the Knight of Coins in reverse, and I knew it. I knew this would come up. And then we have the Four of Swords, followed by the King of Swords. Then the Ace of Wands, the Wheel, and the Six of Cups. This is a really fascinating spread, and I say that I knew that it would come up because I knew that change had a lot to do, like the word kept coming up, and I knew that it had a lot to do with money. But I'm seeing here that it's a resistance to change. And if you resist the change, Scorpio, the tide won't turn. And that's why the Knight of Coins came out in reverse. Oh, it's so interesting that this came out first. I then have the Four of Swords. So what I'm seeing is the resistance to change won't inform or won't encourage the money that you're looking for. So you have to change something in the way that you maneuver in order to get this Knight of Coins in the opposite of reverse. And the Four of Swords came out in reverse too, which is very interesting. And I feel as though it came out in reverse primarily because it's sort of like it's not even sort of, it's the change that we want in our lives can only be brought about by pursuing that change or pursuing the thing that's going to amount to change. And it seems as though you're quite content to kind of just chill right now, Scorpio. I don't blame you. I can't say I blame you. Times are a little tricky. We're all kind of fatigued in a lot of ways. And I don't blame you for kind of just taking things as they come. But ultimately, you're going to have to stop resting on your laurels and heed the call for change. This is definitely a reading that has to do with career aspirations. So the thing, and not even necessarily career, but whatever moves you, your passions, whatever is whatever fills up your time, or the things that you want to fill up your time, work, hobbies, activities, creative juices flowing. So the thing that occupies your time when you're awake needs to be addressed. And when you address it, you'll come out victorious. And that's why the King of Swords is at the halfway point. What I'm seeing with the Ace of Wands right next to the King of Swords is that you alone are orchestrating this change, right? And change, and I feel the need to tell you that change is cyclical. There will be periods of stagnation. You know, right now you're in sort of that like lull where it's like, what move do I make? Do I make a move? Where do I go from here? What am I supposed to do? But you have it in your grasp. You have the answer. It's just a matter of when or how. Right? You have the means to do it. You just have to do it. And doing it primarily has to also, it also involves finding out what it is that you need to change, what it is that you need to start doing, what needs to be put in motion. That's why the wheel came out, right? So it's Ace of Wands. I have it in the palm of my hand. It's whatever it is within my grasp. You know, I kind of have to take the mantle for myself and do it. And then we see this movement of the wheel turning, you know. Then I have the Six of Cups that came out. And it's no long, it makes me feel as though we're done with the past. We are dealing with reality now, and reality is telling me that I need to seize the opportunities now. This is such an interesting spread, because we can't lie. The wheel doesn't just come out, right? The wheel doesn't just grace us with its presence. It comes out for a reason. And it comes out with the hopes that you will take it seriously. You know, I can't tell you how interesting it is to see a spread for Scorpio, and it's all about change, and change that has palpable results, tangible results. So prepare yourself for pivotal movement in your life, right? But you have to take the chance. You have to take the mantle. It's there. Why wouldn't you take it? Why are you still milling in? And it's not even like you're milling in like really historic events in your life. You're kind of stuck in the most recent past. And I'd say that that feeling is more to do with the monumental changes that the world has gone through, you know? So maybe you're dealing with a little pandemic fatigue, or, you know, you just got into your old job again and you've been on unemployment, or whatever it could be. But let's get out of that, I'm a little anxious. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can move forward. Let's get out of that, especially because you are the sign that represents transformation. You are the sign that rises from the ashes, Scorpio. You're that sign. So don't be afraid to roll with this major arcana of the wheel turning and changes happening and ups and downs, because the Scorpio within, the Scorpio itself, is change, is the phoenix that dies to live again and lives to die again, right? We love beginnings and endings. And this beginning has to do, primarily, I'm feeling, to do with whatever drives you, whatever business venture you're into, whatever creative hobby you're into, whatever enterprising you're into. I want to pull 2 more cards and just see what the energy says surrounding. I mean, it's pretty clear in the 6 cards that I've already pulled where your energy is going. And of course, we have the new moon in Scorpio coming up, and that's all about, redirection, and making peace with the things you couldn't change and welcoming the things that you can. So I hope you are manifesting or preparing to manifest like crazy for this new moon, because why not? Why not make use of the universe's gifts? And the moon is pretty damn cool. So let's see what else comes out for you. So I have the 10 of Wands, and we know 10 is the number of true beginnings and endings, things coming full circle so that we go again. And then I have the Knight of Swords. Super cool. And the 10 of Wands represents it's such an interesting card in tarot, because it came out in reverse in your spread, Scorpio, and the Knight of Swords came out in the upright position. So I see here with the 10 of Wands, I see kind of like a breaking free of whatever it's more to do with whatever you think is stopping you, or whatever you think is something that may impede the process of change. We, especially Scorpios, we have a tendency to be up in our head, to be all up in our head for the stupidest, insignificant things. We panic. We have a tendency of just going straight for panicking. And this card, to me, in the reverse, the 10 of Wands, represents an understanding that there's nothing that's holding you back. You're at the forefront and you're at the edge of just falling over the cliff and into a cycle that's going to bring you what you crave. And there's nothing, there's no weight on your shoulders, there's zero that could possibly hold you back. I love that came out. That's really cool. And I see it in, it's an interesting card. I keep saying that and I keep repeating myself, sorry, but I just have to say it's so cool, and it's cool that it came out in reverse. There are no underlying obligations. There's nothing that you need to overthink. Just do it. Embrace the change. Create the change. Go for it. And watch yourself soar as the Knight of Swords. And that's the ultimate goal, right? You will soar above and beyond your wildest dreams. If you see the card, it seems as though it's a woman who is flying on top of some kind of bird. Looks like some kind of pelican, if I'm not mistaken. And he or she is holding this golden sword with this conviction in her eyes. Like, yeah, I informed the process, and that's why I'm soaring. That validation in her eyes, like, yeah, and I actually don't need to prove anything to anyone. I did what I had to do. So be bold, Scorpio. This is what I'm seeing in your reading. Be bold in your endeavors. Anything that you want is within your grasp. Why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you embrace the change? Why wouldn't you do a little new moon thing? Sorry about that, I just paused the video. But why wouldn't you do a little new moon manifestation ritual and get the universe and God on your side? And Jah, whatever you call the higher being. So thank you, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me. I am definitely open to personal readings. My email is on my channel. And I'll be chatting to you soon. Stay well, Scorpio.